Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this presentation. The topic Strategic Plan for Greenlight Bilingual Academy, presented by my humble self, Morphosixtus. Ladies and gentlemen, we have talked about this issue some months back, and I promised to do a presentation on this, and so let's have it this evening. You're welcome once more. So, by way of introduction, we know that some years back, a good number of us, about 21 of us in number, developed some interest in school business. We put our ideas and resources together and started one. But today, it is proving difficult to tell if we are making a progress or we are experiencing diminishing returns. Our challenges are many, we know, and some of which include a drop in the number of partners from 21 to 11, a high level of competition around the neighborhood where we operate, the socio-political tension affecting one part of the country, and then the rest. All this put together, there is a need for us to revamp our strategies, business strategies, thus this strategic planning. So what is a strategic plan? It is simply an organizational management activity that is used to set priorities, focus energy and resources, strengthen operations, and ensure that employees and other stakeholders in the business or in the organization are working towards the common goals, establish agreement around intended outcomes and results, and assess and adjust organization's activities. We've asked this question: is a strategic plan really necessary for Greenlight Bilingual Academy and the mother branch Proxy? I think my answer is a very big yes, and I have a number of reasons for my opinion. I would like us to examine our challenges together. This is some of the challenges that we face. We have for some time now experienced a drop in the number of partners running this business, from 21, as I earlier mentioned, to 11, even though we cannot underestimate our prowess in carrying on the business. Then we also have an unfinished structure, which is proving very heavy on us, for a simple reason: we know the limited number of partners present cannot provide the necessary resources to get this project through. And we equally have a high competition. A good number of schools have cropped up around our neighborhood, putting a lot of pressure on us. And whether we like it or not, that might be one of the reasons for our low enrollment. And the low enrollment again is really a problem, even though it's a good start. It's take-off stage after the troubles. Then we also have the socio-political tension, which is a generalized outcry. Then there is unforeseen economic hardship. One cannot tell, that the days ahead, the months and the years ahead prove to be somehow difficult. So this is some of the challenges that we need to sit down as a family, as a team, and see how we can tighten the knots so that we come out of these challenges. I had said that I would help to maybe enlighten the team in coming up with a strategic development plan, and these are just the few stages involved in the realization of this small project. There are 5 stages involved: writing a vision statement, writing a mission statement, perform a gap or SWOT analysis, write SMART goals, then monitor the progress. I'll take some time to expatiate on each of these steps as we go ahead. Step 1. Write a vision statement. What is this vision statement about? It's a statement which is typically not too long, just between 2 to 3 sentences, that gives the reader, and more importantly the organization, a mental picture of what the organization hopes to become or what it hopes to achieve in the days ahead. So it is important to understand where the organization is going to before it can develop a strategic plan for how to get there. So the value of the vision statement is that it gives the leadership and employees a shared goal. The second aspect, or the second step, is writing a mission statement. A mission statement is an explanation of why an organization exists and the path it will take to achieve its vision. Mission statements are typically shorter than a vision statement, but not always, and they are always organization specific. So this is a statement that describes what the organization is passionate about. Step 3. Perform a gap or a SWOT analysis. A gap analysis is simply a process an organization goes through to identify the gaps between its current state and what it hopes to achieve. That's its vision. So to do a gap analysis, we simply look at where the organization is as we speak and compare it to where it hopes to be. So the process typically involves a step of researching data outside the organization, the situation, the surrounding situations, as well as taking a hard look at data within the organization. As for data within the organization, we know we have some good knowledge about the business because we have been operating in the neighborhood of about 5-6 years, and getting data within the organization might not necessarily be a problem. So we can equally, apart from using the gap analysis, we can equally use the SWOT analysis. And what do we mean here by SWOT analysis here? SWOT simply refers to the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats that the business will face or faces. We know our strength. We have been in business for some time. It's a strength. We have a structure, permanent structure is a strength. I think we have personnel. Well, it's difficult to tell whether the personnel is qualified because we need to rethink as far as personnel is concerned. Those are strengths. Then we have weaknesses. We can enumerate them. There are opportunities there. We equally have threats. And so I think our interest here is to see how we can conveniently exploit our SWOT analysis, the strengths, the weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and make a way forward. Then the fourth step has to do with write SMART goals. You can write SMART goals for 2 to 3 years out. Some organizations even choose to go shorter than that or longer. SMART here simply stands for some specific goals, and these goals must be measurable. Measurable in terms of quality and quantity. They must be attainable or achievable. These are goals that must be realizable, that they should be relevant and time bound. We cannot go for goals that will take forever to be realized. Okay. Then some examples of SMART goals might include: by 20-GBA will have a customer satisfaction score of 95%. By 2025, GBA will have a profit margin of 50%. By 2024, GBA will offer online lessons to the pupils and parents around. We can keep on and on and on. I want to say here that goals are a wonderful thing to have, but unless they are implemented and someone is held accountable through a structured performance management process. They are nothing but just mere words on a piece of paper. So when thinking about goals, we have to be very careful. Then the fifth and the last step, goals should be monitored at least on a quarterly basis. And this can be as simple as asking the responsible person to give a status update on their goals for that quarter. It is important that this is done because organizations are so busy today that the day-to-day responsibility can sometimes get in the way of completing the long-term goals without realizing. Sorry for that cover. Once a year, the strategic plan and goals should be reviewed and updated to reflect current market conditions, and changes should ensure that goals are focused on the current state of the organization. It would also be necessary that we talk about goals at every General Assembly meeting, as well as school staff meetings. Now, in conclusion, I want to say that a strategic plan is as good as oxygen is to any living being. If we develop and implement it scrupulously, it brings a dramatic change to our business endeavors. So, I so much want to appreciate you all for watching and listening, hoping that when we next meet during our informal sitting, we shall be able to create a strategic plan team to start working immediately. I also pray that we all think of some core values we want to nurture as a culture in GBA and any other subsequent venture that we'll get ourselves involved with. Thank you very much for listening, and good night.